Donald Trump is getting destroyed from all sides today, folks. I have plenty of clips of both his enemies and his allies taking the absolute piss out of him, but let's start with this one from an unlikely source.
Well, so many things going on. I would say to my co-panelist's point, nobody's trying to keep Donald Trump off the campaign trail. Donald Trump is keeping himself off the campaign trail with his conduct, and then when he had a break, he decided to go golfing instead. So let's please understand that the only person who's keeping him from doing that is himself.
Well, I'll be darned. I cannot believe my eyes and ears. Not only did NewsMax have a Democratic strategist on their program, but they allowed him to speak the truth? Surely, I must be dreaming.
I must be dreaming.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
It's pretty bad when your propaganda network starts letting people disparage you like that. Clearly, Trump can't even do the whole dictator thing properly. But we shouldn't be at all surprised about his incompetence or skipping campaigning to go golf, even though he constantly complains that his trial is the real reason he can't campaign.
We want delays. Obviously, I'm running for election. How can you run for election and be sitting in a courthouse in Manhattan all day long?
But what is surprising is how bad he actually is at golf for someone who does it so much. I hate this effing hole. Funny, that's not what he told Stormy Daniels, though maybe in that moment he had Melania on his mind. And before you say, oh, come on, Kenny, that's only one instance of him sucking at golf, let me remind you that this man had to cheat at his own golf tournament in order to win.
So if performance on the golf course equates to performance in office, then it seems only fair to point out that Trump apparently won that tournament by cheating. According to the British tabloid, the Daily Mail, competitors arriving for day 2 of the contest on Sunday morning were surprised, although not exactly shocked, to see Trump's name at the top of the leaderboard with a 5-point lead over the overnight leader. The thing is, Trump wasn't even there for the first day of the tournament. The Daily Mail, citing unnamed insiders, reports that Trump apparently told members that he had played a cracking private round on Thursday and that would count as his first day's score.
I rest my case. Then you had Fox News desperately trying to defend the Trump tax cuts and utterly failing.
So thanks. So I figured I wouldn't attack my friend Steve, I figured I'd quote a few people that are nonpartisan here. The Tax Policy Center declared that the top 1% and 5% benefited the most. The Center on Budget and Policy said the 2017 Trump tax laws skewed to the rich, it was expensive, and it failed to deliver on its promises.
But that gets away from the point. He's making you're getting away from the point.
They're right. The point of Fox News is to indoctrinate. Facts are not welcome here, you dirty scoundrel.
Let me just finish. No, I'm not. No, if I could just finish. So my point to Steve is, when it went from 39.6 to 37, that was not needed. When it went on the corporate tax from 35 to 21, all corporates would have been fined at 25 to 28. It is absolutely clear it's skewed to the upper class. And President Biden in no way is saying to change taxes for anyone below $400,000. He wants to extend the child tax credit. He wants to extend the earned income tax credit.
That's not the point.
So your graphs
will you pay more if you make less than $400,000 a year?
Yeah. No,
he's been saying
not.
Okay.
He wants to not change anything under $400,000. You should read the text.
Wow, very bold of him to assume that Fox News hosts can read. So NewsMax is dumping on Trump. Fox is dumping on Trump. This is getting pretty bad. But you know what they say, it can always get worse.
Nothing worked, Donald. Nothing. You tried everything to delay the trial.
You failed.
Now Melania gets to be humiliated again.
She hates you.
Being reminded that you f***ed a porn star.
Stormy said you sucked in bed.
And then you paid to keep it secret.
Embarrassing.
Lied about it over and over.
The truth came out.
Now Judge Marchand has you on a leash.
That's a good boy.
Gagged.
Do what you're told.
He's had enough of your threats and your lies.
Just like your wife.
Alvin Bragg has your number. And the case is strong.
More humiliation.
You won't testify.
You'd screw it up.
You're going to lose.
A loser.
You're going to be convicted.
A convict.
And you're going to pay.
If you had any money.
The only president in history to face a criminal trial.
Fred would be ashamed.
Maybe you're not being persecuted.
You did this to yourself.
Maybe it's because you're a criminal.
Guilty.
Wow. Yet another absolutely devastating Lincoln Project ad. I don't know where they got that image of him being gagged, but damn if that ain't a good thumbnail. And talk about getting hit from all angles. From mentioning Melania to Stormy saying he sucked in bed, even saying his dad would be ashamed of him, which, as devastating as that would be for anyone else, it's kind of par for the course for Diaper Don. I mean, you don't become this big of a narcissistic psychopath without some serious daddy issues. But my favorite part of that whole video is the core message that Donald Trump has done this to himself. As much as he wants to complain that the Washington elites and the libs are coming after him in another witch hunt, the truth of the matter remains that all of his problems are direct results of his own actions and insanity, all of which are completely unprecedented in American history, as George Stephanopoulos so eloquently explained recently.
Until now, no American president had ever faced a criminal trial. No American president had ever faced a federal indictment for retaining and concealing classified documents. No American president had ever faced a federal indictment or a state indictment for trying to overturn an election or been named an unindicted co-conspirator in 2 other states for the same crime. No American president ever faced hundreds of millions of dollars in judgments for business fraud, defamation, and sexual abuse. Until now, no American presidential race had been more defined by what's happening in courtrooms than what's happening on the campaign trail. Until now. The scale of the abnormality is so staggering that it can actually become numbing. It's all too easy to fall into reflexive habits, to treat this as a normal campaign, where both sides embrace the rule of law, where both sides are dedicated to a debate based on facts and the peaceful transfer of power. But that is not what's happening this election year. Those bedrock tenets of our democracy are being tested in a way we haven't seen since the Civil War. It's a test for the candidates, for those of us in the media, and for all of us as citizens.
The bedrock tenets of our democracy are being tested in ways we haven't seen since the Civil War. That is insane to think about. Unless, of course, you're a MAGA Republican who thinks it's fun to live-action roleplay the events of the Civil War. And we've seen time and time again the clear-cut differences between MAGA Republicans and Donald Trump and Joe Biden and the Democrats. One side believes in the rule of law and democracy. The other, well, doesn't, but believes in dictatorship. One side works for the American people and their interests, and the other works for the interests of a single man. One side has humility and can be self-deprecating, and the other side can't visit a courthouse without complaining about how cold it is. Joe Biden's character and genuineness were on full display in the recent interview he did with Howard Stern, which you can check out on our channel to see even more stark contrast between these two men. But I'll leave you with this uplifting Biden ad that, while being able to combat and take down Donald Trump, at the same time touts real, tangible results and plans for the future while showcasing the character and humility of a man who's not a total scumbag.
Look, I'm not a young guy. That's no secret. But here's the deal. I understand how to get things done for the American people. I led the country through the COVID crisis. Today, we have the strongest economy in the world. I passed a law that lowers prescription drug prices, caps insulin at $35 a month for seniors. For 4 years, Donald Trump tried to pass an infrastructure law, and he failed. I got it done. Now we're rebuilding America. I passed the biggest law in history to combat climate change because our future depends on it. Donald Trump took away the freedom of women to choose. I'm determined to make Roe v. Wade the law of the land again. Donald Trump believes the job of the president is to take care of Donald Trump. I believe the job of the president is to fight for you, the American people. And that's what I'm doing. I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
Can we do one more take?
Look, I'm very young, energetic, and handsome. What the hell am I doing this for?
And that is a message I can get behind. Thanks for watching, folks. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell notification button so you get notified every time we upload. And let me know your thoughts on everything we covered today, whether it be the Lincoln Project ad, Trump's utter incompetence at everything including golf, or the night and day difference between the two men vying for the presidency this November. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say in those comments down below. And as always, we greatly appreciate you all being here. And if you can, we'd also appreciate your support on Patreon so we can continue to grow our operations and our coverage leading up to this very important election. For Really American, I'm Kenny Hesse, and I'll see you all in the next one.